We are in Pompeii. Where we go is going to be determined by my map. Hey babe.
Hi.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
We made it to downtown Pompeii. Walking off the train. Isn't that great? And this is getting close to our street. Get to the end of the street, take a left, and we're on the left. We said we feel fortunate because we're getting stronger rather than breaking down. And today is April 6th. So that means we've been at this for like 25 days. 26 days.
Watch out, people are driving on the sidewalk.
Yes. This is why we're glad we're not driving. As a pedestrian.
Look, we're walking towards one of those.
Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, I think this is it. This is our gate. It's either this or the one with the artichokes on it.
No.
One more. That's it. This will be on the. This will be part of the QR code when on her tombstone.
There we go. Next time you do it, take the pig off.
Oh yeah. Usually,
Take the tag off?
yeah.
No, I think the tag adds more movement.
Usually she just wears tassels. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. What do you think?
You really have. That's wonderful. You look great.
Thank you. I feel great.
Getting her new pants and her new jacket. Just strutting her stuff and on the streets of Pompeii. Like they did 2,000 years ago. I think they got buried in like 33 AD or something, you know what I mean? Like right at the time Christ got crucified. It's about that
I
time.
just read it and it was like 55 or 75 or something.
Right? It was like,
was thinking
not even 100.
No, I was thinking it was right after Paul. I was thinking it was like, oh, it was
Yeah, because
Paul
Paul,
was doing his thing.
yeah.
That was the one place Paul wasn't like, I was there.
Well,
I'm still there.
they were saying at the St. Matthew's church that when they had his remains, that they were in a storm and they almost shipwrecked, and his remains somehow kept them safe around the tip of Italy or whatever. Right, so it's 9:30 now. I guess this is like a Sunday night because it's Easter Monday, which was a holiday. We're actually like staking out the archaeological so that tomorrow we'll know right where to go. Plus we needed to walk off all that sitting in the train today.
Oh, there's a store with all 25-euro clothes. Huh.
Oh, right. Oh, what if you found a new shopping
Yeah,
district?
but that looks like it's name brands.
Mm-hmm.
Buy me another suitcase. Go home.
I got you carry-on for EasyJet and for KLM on the way home. So all you have to do is buy a carry-on where all the wheels work.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 3-wheeled carry-on for a long time.
We did. And we had one where the handle didn't work for a long time, and then we decided that we didn't have to put up with that.
So now we just go out of backpacks.
Yeah.
Oh, we showed that.
No, we're doing weight, what is it called?
CrossFit, babe. We're CrossFitting. Hey, so we just came upon this. Can't wait to see that tomorrow.
Wow. Oh, look at that place right there. That pension. This is Balistreri wine.
It has. See, and so these machines, they don't let you do money with the cashier. So everybody has these machines, and then you put the money in, and it gives you your change automatically.
And it shines a blue light on the money, sterilizing it.
Sterilizing.
Ostensibly.
I guess.
Here's Balistreri wine.
Di essere la comunità pasquale, generata da Cristo crocifisso e risorto, preghiamo. La risurrezione del tuo Figlio al suo Padre. Per tutti i battezzati, aspersi dal sangue dell'acqua che scaturiscono dal fianco di Cristo, rinnovo la grazia della loro nascita nello Spirito, preghiamo. La risurrezione dell'umanità, divenuti un solo popolo, chiamato nelle nostre famiglie, in ogni casa, si celebri con sincerità e verità l'evento pasquale e si condivida il giorno del Signore con l'ospitalità ai piccoli, ai poveri e ai sofferti. Per tutte le sorelle e fratelli definiti, vita ora il cielo come della risurrezione alla fine dei tempi, preghiamo. La risurrezione del tuo Figlio al suo Padre. Accogli i padri misericordiosi, gli offerte di questa famiglia, perché con l'aiuto della tua protezione custodisca i doni ricevuti e la tua carta chiede per Cristo nostro Signore. Signore sia con voi. Ilate il nostro cuore. Rendiamo grazie al Signore nostro Dio. E veramente cosa buona e giusta nostra offesa in questo giorno, nel quale Cristo nostra Pasqua si è volato. E allo stesso modo, dopo aver cenato, prese il calice, di nuovo ti rese grazie, lo diede ai suoi discepoli e disse: per la nuova ed eterna alleanza, versata per voi e per tutti, in remissione dei peccati. Fate questo in memoria di me.
So we are in Pompeii. So this place was buried by like 30 to 40 feet of ashes from a volcano. And so this is the amphitheater, and they're saying that it held 20,000 people.
The amphitheater of Pompeii is defined as simply spectacular, building for spectacles, by the inscription that recalls its construction at the expense of Caius Quintius Vulgus and Marcus Porcius, meritorious magistrates of the recently founded colony. Built in 70 BC, it is in fact the most ancient amphitheater of the Roman world known to us. It accommodated 20,000 spectators from Pompeii and her surroundings. Its location in the periphery served precisely to facilitate movement of such a large number of people. The necessity to immediately provide the new colony with a building for spectacles testifies to the importance of centers of aggregation for the inhabitants. Retracing one's steps through the access inside the theater, we come to a gallery, crypta, with 4 entrances, 2 of which directly adjoin the arena. The beaten earth arena is entirely delimited by a parapet of about 2 meters in height, and originally decorated with frescoes that have today been lost, which depicted combats between gladiators. Arriving in the cavea, we note 3 areas. the Imma Cavia, divided into 6 sectors and reserved to leading personalities of the city who enjoyed the best view. The Media Cavia, which is to say the central area, reserved to the people. The Summa Cavia, which is the upper part. In addition to bloody spectacles with the fights of gladiators and wild beasts, the amphitheater was also the scene of a violent brawl in 59 AD between Pompeians and Nocerini, recalled by a fresco today in the National Archaeological Museum of Naples and by the historian Tacitus.
And it also was where Pink Floyd recorded their Live at Pompeii album. But look at that. You could just imagine this crush, the crush of humanity, like that we experience all the time.
The residence is an excellent example of the multifaceted use of private and public areas in the ancient age. After the earthquake of 62 AD, the owner of the villa, Julia Felix, decided to rent a part, probably due to the scarcity of housing. The house is divided into 3 parts. The baths with entrance from Via dell'Abbondanza, the owner's home, delimited by a colonnade with the original marble pilasters, and, finally, the shops that look out onto both Via dell'Abbondanza and a side street in the direction of the Palestra Grande, which was also the location of the house for rent. In fact, on the facade of the house, there was a painted notice with her name that has today been moved to the National Archaeological Museum of Naples, which read, "Elegant bath for rent to respectable people. Shops with living quarters above. First floor apartments." Also indicating the maximum duration of the rental as 5 years, starting from the month of August. The statues of the garden, along with several paintings from this large house, are held in the National Archaeological Museum of Naples, while a fresco with Apollo and the Muses is held at the Louvre.
Just the streets of Pompeii.
By a statue of Mars. This is the painting that gives its name to the house, which depicts a naked Venus stretched out on a seashell and escorted by 2 cupids. With her thick curls, the goddess is adorned with only a crown on her head and rings on her wrists and ankles, symbols of the erotic sphere. One of her attendants rides a dolphin, which conveys the marine setting, while the goddess navigates light blue waves driven by a sail swollen with wind.
This is what happened all in one day. Wow. This is how they were found. It says that these 3 victims were found, 2 adults and a child, and they all had gold and coins, so that they were probably trying to escape to the sea. So creepy. And look, he has a belt on. This guy just has clothes on. So just walking the streets of Pompeii, I mean, kind of reminds me of even the ghost towns of California. We just realized that there was the hustle and bustle in all these people's homes. Look at these are just alleyways, and we're headed towards the antiquarium and all kinds of good stuff. Indy was saying is that they all painted their walls and they did a lot of architecture, painting of architecture.
The best choice was to go out onto the streets and look for something hot. Among the many workshops dedicated to the food service, the thermopodia were the equivalent of today's bars. They had a counter facing the street with large built-in jars where foods were stored. On one side of the counter, a hearth or brazier kept the food warm, while along the walls, amphorae held the wine served to customers. The owners of this activity were Vitucius Placidus and his wife Ascula. Business was going rather well, and in fact, the archaeologists found some 1,385 bronze coins here. Probably the takings of several days' work.
This is a lot like Ephesus when you're in the terraced houses. Look, this is all area.
He said they're fixing the mosaics. That's what we're doing.
So we just came out the other side of the houses, and look at that. There's the volcano, and then look at this. I mean, we're just on like one corner of the town, so the whole thing has been buried. So we're actually like trying to walk through a town of 30,000 people to see all the different sites and what they had. And then, I mean, out of all the things we've seen, then you just like look down here, and you're just like, you see this all painted. It's Easter vacation. Everybody is out. But check out this. This is just a crossroads of one of the main streets of a town of 30,000 people.
Because part of the city has still not been excavated. But we know at least 5 public establishments and various private baths referred to the most luxurious domus. Were all of these baths really necessary? The city was inhabited by thousands of people, and most of the houses were very small. With the exception of the most well-to-do domus, there were no showers or sinks. The baths thus became the only place where it was possible to tend to bodily hygiene. They were frequented by both men and women, with separate areas for each. The clients would exercise, run, play ball, or swim in the pool on the left. The rooms on this side were dedicated to athletes and still preserve the stucco decoration of the facade, which you can imagine in the colors red, yellow, and light blue.
At the same
To the right
time,
of the courtyard are the entrances to the baths proper. We first enter the male section, passing beneath a beautiful vault that
This is just the public baths, and they were decorated. And they had cold plunges. Oh, and then this was the secondary floor, so they had like fire going on underneath it, and then they would just pour water on it, and it would just turn into a big, huge steam room. So see, that's the secondary floor. That's how they had it. And then underneath, they had the heat going. Yeah, so everything was stucco and painted. And here was the bakery, and they would grind the grain right here. And then that's basically a pizza oven that they got going right there. This was a politician's house. And at the very front of his house, it said, "Welcome money." And then there was another writing on the wall that said, "Don't waste my time."
The entrance vestibule leads into the atrium with the center basin for collecting rainwater. On both the right and left of the atrium are 2 bedrooms. And further ahead, the alley, communicating rooms and waiting rooms for guests visiting the master of the house. The left ala is directly connected with the kitchen at the back, while the right ala communicates with a large dining room with frescoes and mosaics. Houses collapsed or were so damaged that they had to be rebuilt from zero. At that point, the magistrates made an important decision. Demolish what remains of the houses and begin the construction of a new baths complex.
And this is
the
the
largest in the city. The project was so ambitious that 17 years were not enough to complete it. And in fact, at the moment of the eruption, the baths were still a construction site in full activity.
Look at these architectural ideas. Like, look. You could just have these little temple, have your little goddesses around. All the little goddess statues I've collected.
Wow. Oh, because they had the ruts that were the size of their.
Only their carts, huh? Ah, that's the answer. So it said they had these ruts, you know, and that they had carts that were for their town that you could rent. So you'd bring your cart and it wouldn't fit their ruts. So then you'd have to leave your cart on the outside and have to rent one of theirs. Look at that view.
Wow.
Here's one of the like don't miss things. This is the house of a really wealthy guy.
The original decoration, sure. Yes, under this fabric, in these 3 rooms, there are original pieces. We
So there's all the mosaics they only uncover in the summer. He said.
Oh, is that what it is?
He said it's to protect them from water.
And there is the volcano.
While the other one is the tepidarium, the room at an intermediate temperature that functions also as a second changing room. The walls are decorated with sculpted male figures in terracotta and called telemons that support the vaulted ceiling. They are the male equivalent of the Greek caryatids, and they are tasked with supporting something very heavy, in our case, the roof.
We paid for the extra villas, and this is the street it's on. And I almost turned around, and India was just like, look, it's got to be here. And we just kept going, and sure enough, look at this. Pompeii is not easy. It is all these rocks, and this is actually the flattest street there is. It's where you cannot be looking around. I mean, everybody's tripping, so you have to like watch where you're stepping all the time. There is no liability insurance for sure. I mean, that must have been part of the contract when the fine print of the ticket. And you just imagine it populated.
With its 3,500 square meters, it is one of the largest buildings in Pompeii, built on 3 scenographic terraces. To the west of Via dei Sepolcri, it directly opens onto the internal courtyard, a peristyle, of 14 columns, in keeping with the norm formulated by Roman architect Vitruvius.
We're still in this guy's house, and this is how you get down to his bottom floor. So, just love these dome ceilings. Oh well, there's another one. Where's my love? Okay, we're into our paid area, which is, we had to walk for it. So, they show a shuttle service, but I don't think anybody's coming to get us. These are fun pillars with the tile on them. Woo! Almost dropped my phone. So this is the Villa de Misteria. They just do all these frescoes and mosaics. And they just make these floors. Depth. Just gave their walls depth by drawing three-dimensional. Not sure what we're doing, but we have caught the shuttle, but the guy at the exit thing said just 300 meters down that way, and there were people standing there, so that's what we did. This is supposed to take us out to the Villa Regina Margherita, and there's supposed to be a museum, but it is 5 o'clock, and I think the last shuttle's at 6, so the whole goal is not to get left out someplace. Check out these cool geometric shapes of these tiled floors, tiled benches. Just really cool.
I see though they have these fine carved
Uh-huh.
things. That was the foot of furniture. Look.
Yeah, they just had just as nice objects as we got.
Yeah, well, nicer.
Nicer.
That's the foot, like.
Oh yeah, those are the legs.
Yeah, there's the legs of the furniture. And they said these are bands that held a bed together. Decorative
Wow.
bands.
Well, Pompeii was founded in 600 BC, but then the Romans took it over like 100 BC, or around the time of Nero. But look at that, they do the exposed rock, but then they do that plaster. That's really cool. Like it's almost part of the design too. This is the carts they were going around in with metal wheels. This is ornaments of the chariots. You really just look at these people and you just realize that they were contemporaries. Luckily, I had the audio guide and they said they didn't let anybody in after 5:30, but the shuttle dropped us off at that gate, and that's not the gate where I rented the audio guide. So then the guy said, go ahead, you can come back in, and it's like 6:10, and we're back in the park. So we have to walk through the park to return the audio guide.
Behind the theater, in the former lounge area for spectators of theater performances, stands, as of the earthquake of 62 AD, the monumental four-sided square portico of 74 columns in travertine, which is to say, the gladiators' barracks. Along with the wings of the portico are the spaces dedicated to the lodgings of the gladiator, not only from Pompeii, but from nearby cities as well. The most important rooms are along the eastern portico, such as the large semicircular exedra refectory structure, and the upper rooms belonging to the impresario of the gladiators. Some of them are quite peculiar, such as the helmet of the Thracian type. The Thracians, Thraex, derived their name from the warriors of the ancient
Found a
Thrace,
bathroom.
today's Bulgaria.
Here is the small amphitheater. Hello? Look at that. You could just talk to everybody, like right there, and let them all know. And then we have the larger amphitheater over here. The Teatro Grande. Oh, look at that. With the backdrops and stuff like that. Have the stage all set up. Come in here. Look at that. We have a performer. Wow, look at that. It's going to be a great sunset from up there.
Oh, you want to stay?
Nope, we have to go. They made a mistake when they let us in. I'm going to like regret that. And we'll be like 8:30. They're going to be
Stay up there till 7 and then have
trying to
come
find
back
us.
out. And then you get to see the background, Jizzy.
We get a better view on the little one. Oh, how cozy is that? Oh yeah, look, it's the guy holding the terracotta guy. And look from behind the scenes.
Backstage.
Yeah.
I bet they had some amazing shows. They were such fine artists and artisans. Everything's so well made here. I saw a bunch of tiny little chisels in the museum, and I thought, oh.
Oh, did you see that? All the jewelry making equipment and all
But
that?
I bet a lot of that was for making all those intricate ceiling designs.
Okay, I don't think it goes through over there, but it does go through on this alley.
Yeah.
Maybe if you don't make it to the gate by 7, and they just close it up, and in Italy, you're just SOL. Well, I think we picked out a place we want to stay.
It is the big.
There's the rest.
Oh, we were on the street.
There's the rest of the Donner Party.
It's the main street we were on.
Indy was just saying how these people lived in luxury. I mean, there was slaves. Oh, they had these big alleyways, places to eat.
But you know, they were so good at doing construction and carving and art and plaster and stonework and stucco and everything. They didn't just learn how to do it. So people obviously knew how to do it thousands of years before this. And this is thousands of years ago, you know?
The potter's wheel with Sumeria. Yeah, and they already... Architecture.
Oh.
The sun is going down. Look at those colors. So it's actually 6:57. We're closing in on the Colosseum. We're gonna make it. We're not gonna have to spend the night in Pompeii.
Oh, that's where we had a picnic today, where my favorite trees are.
Yep. Look at that. Good night, sunshine. Good night, Pompeii. Can't do it in a day, but we tried. All right, that's the town we're staying in. That's India. It's the Colosseum behind her. This is the exit. We are last ones through. Oh my gosh, right at sunset, huh? There. Literally, they were standing at the door with my ID in their hand, and they were like, we're just leaving. And I was the last one. Last one.
You got every drop of Pompeii.
Every drop of Pompeii. The Pompeii mana. That was it. And now we are back in town, and I got my ID. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're in Naples now. We took the train. It was not that easy, and that we're very tired. So here's the thing. We have a flight for 6 in the morning. So we were hoping maybe that there'd be some kind of accommodations at the airport or to sleep at the airport. But they close the whole airport at 10:30 at night and kick everybody out. So we did find like a pod hotel right outside the airport where it turns out people have to go. Like India says, more awe. Oh, that's a nice Mary. God, there's so much to see here. Look at this thing, it's just so detailed. There's Mary, the Queen of Queens. Oh, there's another Mary. It's kind of nice with the light shining like that. And a woman gathered up the blood after this guy was martyred, and it's supposed to turn to liquid 3 times a year. We are just hanging out here. We found a store so we can buy some milk and buy some extra stuff.
Però o facci una cosa a noi, o facci una cosa a te. Perché sarà così, lui sarà
Waiting for our bus. And, you know, the time it says it's coming and the time it actually comes appear to be not lined up. In Italy, you buy your bus tickets at tobacco shops that have that tea. So we had to buy our ticket over there, and then we had to wait at our station right here. And hopefully any minute now. This is a bus at rush hour.